What was the most Pinot situation you've ever had? Hi Reddit guys. Subscribe now to support cute rabbits. Delivered pizza to a hotel where a drunken orgy was going on. Customer gestured to me, 19-year-old nerd girl, mousy and unattractive, then to the scene, which included a guy snorting coke off a stripper's back, and asked, "Wanna play?" Turned him down, because I was more concerned about paying rent. Also turned down his tip offer of a baggie of cocaine. He tipped me $50, though, so that was cool. I've heard drunken parties are the easiest way to get tips. They commonly give you money to keep quiet about the illegal things they do. Thanks for tip. Time to go tell my old pal Reddit. But don't worry, Reddit keeps secrets. Also turned down his tip offer of a baggie of cocaine. Man, I need to start delivering pizzas. My co-worker came to my office and said, "Come with me." She starts leading me down to the basement where there's never any other people. Turns out she just needed me to carry something heavy. Oof. Better than getting murdered, mate. Is it too much to ask for both? I had a pest control guy come into my condo without really knocking when I was about 20 years old. I had just gotten out of the shower, so I was in only a bathrobe. I also had just done laundry, so all my delicates like bras, panties and lacy lingerie were hanging around to dry. I have no idea what that pool guy was thinking I was trying to do, but I swear I just didn't realize he was coming. Hopefully not on your clean delicates. I lost my virginity working at a bar because my boss said to me, "Would you frick that girl over there?" I said, "Yeah, for sure." And he said, "You're cut. Punch out and take her home." To which I had to really wonder if he was fricking with me. But no, he was not. Plot twist. Boss didn't care about your love life. He just didn't want to pay you overtime. The boss paid a hooker for the shy boy. It was the boss's wife and he was sick of her complaints about their ex-life. Second most plausible explanation. My freshman year of college, a girl was going door to door in the dorms offering to give head for someone to do her chemistry homework. Never been so upset I didn't pay attention in high school, chem. Back when I delivered pizza, I was greeted at the door by a woman wearing the skimpiest of clothing, nearly completely see-through. I think she noticed that I was looking at her nipples and she mentioned her and her husband were swingers. Asked me to come inside, but my anxious ass declined, so she just took off her top and gave me some cash. Reading this thread has made me realize how painfully boring my life is. I mean, shoot, that kind of stuff happens what? 2 to 3 times to someone in their life if they're a little good looking and socially acceptable. If that's making life not boring, then the rest of our time here on Earth between rare events must suck. In about 4 hours I'll be going to my pizza delivery job. I'm praying something like this happens. Update. It's busy as all hell tonight. And yet I have not even delivered to even one cutie. Delivered to an older man in boxer briefs though. Update 2. Welp, looks like my pizza boy and hot milf fantasy will stay just that. Till next time. Spoiler. It won't. And if it does, the person won't be attractive in the slightest. Girl. Spread eagle on my bed in short shorts talking about how flexible she is. Me. Are you even paying attention? You asked me who David Attenborough was and I'm showing you. Please focus. Watch as the human male fumbles his mating opportunity with a willing female. This will be an important lesson he will remember next mating season. Priorities. Ex with female roommate. We had just started season 1 of Doctor Who. She found it boring and legit said, "This is boring, wanna freak?" Also prior to this she would walk around in thongs and bend over in front of me while doing laundry, and plenty of other random acts of accidentally doing stuff like this occurred. Do not shoot where you eat. Ended up ruining everything a year later. As cool as it was, ruined our friendship and mutual friendships as well. How hot was she? How did you ruin the friendship? She was always attractive to me. It was one of those things where you know your friend is hot, but you've only been friends so nothing ever happens. Except it actually happened in this case, and it's because she slowly started getting attached even though we were both seeing other people afterwards. Basically cut each out of our leaves and the mutual friends sorta disappeared with it. I have a friend that I've always found attractive, but never really desired a romantic relationship with her. We were friends for probably around 7 years and nothing ever happened. We rarely even hugged. One night she was over at my place to celebrate my sister's birthday. Pretty much any time we were alone that night she'd bring up how exily frustrated she was. I just brushed it off as her genuinely complaining about it and not trying to get some from me. Eventually, I was drunk and very tired, so I said I was gonna go lay down. She immediately said she'd come join me because she was tired too. Again, I didn't think anything of it. We had shared beds before and nothing had ever happened. I guess this time was different though. We slept together, and literally nothing has changed between us. We're still great friends. It's been several years since we slept together too. I guess me and her got lucky. Apparently it doesn't often play out how it did for us. Neither of us have ever really wanted to date each other, as far as I know. But to be fair, it also wasn't great ex. When my sister's French exchange student came to the UK to stay with us after she left university to help improve her English. One night after a few too many drinks she came into the bathroom while I was having a shower and everything went way better than expected. She took a shoot while you showered. Nice. Nix, the foreign exchange student really pumps up the hot factor. Why did no one tell me when I was one sad face? That's the best part. They don't know how hot they are. We have a black leather couch in the office. My boss had one in his office until we started making vines parodying those types of peons. That's beautiful. It was until I got a talking to about why military members shouldn't be taking their shirts off on video while in uniform. A while back was doing some physical therapy and walking back and forth in some parallel bars. It was me, male, my therapist, female, and a trainee who was shadowing her for a few weeks, male. She needed to check that my glutes were properly activating as I walked and he needed the experience to know what to look for. So I was slowly walking back and forth while they shuffled along behind me, a hand on each of my ass cheeks. The situation was normal, professional enough until another therapist, female, walked into the room and sort of froze in surprise, trying not to laugh. It was hard to deny the ridiculousness of it after that. She needed to check. I've been gait training patients for a long time. I've never needed to check. But congrats on getting a double ass squeeze. And then they fingered you. Writing prompt. Signed. Sealed. Delivered. A high school friend's parents were out of town for the weekend, so I was sleeping over at his house. He goes to bed early, but I'm not tired, so I'm downstairs watching TV. His sister, about a year younger, comes in and sits on the other side of the couch. I forget what movie we're watching, but there was a fashion show and all the models came out wearing nothing. Sister asks, did guys get tired watching stuff like this? I wasn't, but started when she asked. I was still not exactly a confident high schooler, but she was cute and I felt relaxed around her, so I said something like, sometimes. Depends. Why? Do you get wet? She giggled, but didn't say anything for a moment. Then she looked over me and asked if I was hard. I was a little scared that my friend would hear or walk in, but I knew he was upstairs and I was a honey teen. So I said, yeah, want to see? She did. I showed her. Got a BJ. Ate her out. Good movie. You were watching Pretty Grave Porter, Ready to Wear. It's a very good film by director Robert Altman. First actual encounter was while camping out with two girls on New Year's Eve, in a situation framed by a very basic and immature premise that ended in, well, you could just have sex with us instead. The real kicker, I lost my virginity like 7 years later. The night was hours of foreplay, oral and groping, but we refrained from actual sex as we didn't have protection. Upvote for restraint. What kind of restraints? The guy rope. One that I still kick myself for. I work as a gardener, so I'm halfway there already, but at one of my former sites there was an older woman who lived there. She was late 40s early 50s, but had aged like a fine wine. Great body, lovely face and an attractive personality that made you feel easy around her. She'd jokingly flirt all of the time too, which to then 21-year-old me had me real hot under the collars. One day I was using some rope for a job when she asked if I could help her move something heavy in her apartment. Me being the guy I am agreed, so I went into her apartment with the rope still in hand. Moved the stuff for her and she took notice of my rope, crossed her wrists over and said, "Oh, is that for me, sir?" or something like that, whilst giving me now what I know as the look. I chuckled, but left the apartment, where I immediately realized that I had an opportunity to playfully ramp up the flirting and see where it went. I was young and inexperienced, but in hindsight she all but handed me a condom and I used it as a balloon to float away instead. I share your pain with a very similar tale. I was a young, clueless and honey 20-something, working in a small computer shop that did house calls. There was this lady that fits your description that would often call us, saying her computer did something odd. I'd go there, spend painfully long time trying to figure it out while the lady flirted me and was often in very provocative clothes. It was only years later I realized her computer had worked just fine. Sounds like she needed more RAM. Alright, your last sentence is just incredible. Amen. Poetically, wonderfully descriptive of a young man's ignorance. Okay Reddit guys, subscribe now to support Cute Rabbit.